My character's gonna be
oh,
sad.
That start worked. We're alive, but also everyone is very broken, and Emily is a...
Yay!
Emily, you might
We're all
be a
broken.
picture of a goblin.
What?
We still have the old overlay pattern from last time when Emily was not joining us.
I mean, I do mind being a picture of a goblin. I would like to be a picture of me.
Yeah, I'm...
What if I drew a picture of you as a goblin? Your goblin
mean,
persona. If
Goblin-sona?
Bloody
Gobs.
lives.
Uh,
There
I mean,
really
I
is
would
a
be-
Gobsonian kind of element to this story.
The first goblin virtual idol.
Sorry, chat. I am fixing it. I'm fixing it. I've broken
We're gonna fix it, you.
That's Andrew. Andrew goes there.
You're not sorry enough.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
heck.
Andrew, I don't know if it was just
Sorry, I
playing
didn't write
Monster
that
Hunter
down.
this morning, but like Andrew's just like savage
I
today.
don't know.
become ruthless.
Did we invite like Magneto on or something? Like.
You're just the model, Andrew. You've become your playbook.
The worst possible monster, the mortal.
That's right. The human monster.
And then that one is Luke.
It's me.
It's live editing of our overlays. Cool.
Professional.
Hello. Welcome to I'm Not Trying to Kill You. Today we are playing Built by Moonlight, made by the effervescent Andrew Gillis.
I'm full of bubbles. It's very tingly all the time.
I have with me. I'm Ash. I'm your GM. I use she, her pronouns. And I have with me 4 magical girls of great magicalness.
Nice.
Sounds legit to me.
Story checks out.
Give me a second. I'm just going to move my mic a bit closer to myself so that.
Oh dang. Yeah,
we
we're
don't
gonna have
have
that problem. Well done.
This is so professional.
Yep. Okay, we're getting some wibbly wobbly sounds.
Mute yourself, please, Ash.
Alright, you shouldn't hear Emily as much now because it should be picking up from
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Painting still on the table, Em?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Emily.
Yeah.
Emily would usually be in the other room, but where she sits is a big old painting right now. So,
Chat just made the best pun. I want to
Oh my god.
shout out to Fragiles of T Machines. It's called Wiferberation.
oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
I'm so
Wow.
pleased.
Wow.
Where?
Wow.
I'm joined by magical girls. Emily, who are you?
Hi, I'm Emily. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an artist and a filmmaker. Sometimes I make art for games. Sometimes I draw characters from games.
And a real cutie.
Sweet. I mean, you said it. I'll take it. That too.
Cool. Andrew.
I'm Andrew. I use they them pronouns. I am a sometimes game designer, often grouchy nerd. I made this game that we're playing today. It's called Girl by Moonlight, and you can play it if you want to. It's in beta. Go play.
I'll link in the description and we'll put a link in chat if you want to play it, because it's now enhanced with more playbooks. So
I went computer enhance, and it did it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's my favorite part about game design is where you just tell the computer to do it for you and it's done. That's great.
It's got really big font now.
Yeah. It's just all really large.
Yeah, that's the secret to your game being like 200 pages long. You're just like, computer, set everything to 100-point font.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like one letter.
Don't forget double spacing.
That
Oh,
lovely voice
thank you, Andrew. It's a good point.
Is our friend Melody. Melody, who are you?
Hi, I'm Melody. Games designer, researcher occasionally, photo taker sometimes.
PhD.
Yeah, Dr. Watson, I presume.
Congratulations.
No, actually, I know for a fact there's not really presuming. Anyway, she, her pronouns. I'm on Twitter at Magic Space Girl if you want to come chat and listen to me babble. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's me.
And last but very not least, Luke.
Hello, my name is Luke. You can find me on Twitter at Wildwoods Games. I am, by day, a professional GM for children and a program manager now.
Wow.
Very exciting. Yeah, I know. I got fancy new title and everything. By night, I am a cast member on streams like this, and also I design role-playing games about stuff.
Often the sea.
Stuff. Huh.
Sad things.
Often sad,
Almost
always
sad.
spooky. Almost always spooky.
Often the ocean.
I'll take that. Or forests. Both of those
Forests
are
and the
common
ocean.
themes.
Yeah. Cool.
Because both of them are both sad and spooky, Ash. It's all part of the
course.
big...
They're
that
basically
makes
the
sense.
same thing, except one is wet, one is.
I mean, we had that discussion about Alas, right? Alas for the Awful Sea could be played in the Scottish Highlands, right?
Totally.
Because all it requires is a natural environment that is vast, unfriendly to humans, and like also vast and not easily knowable to humans.
Yeah, like you could do a really good like frontier game.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Canada's north. Well, Canada's north is largely known to a bunch of humans, but it's hostile.
But way back when,
That would be
also,
enough,
right?
yeah.
Like if you said it 1700s.
I keep seeing games like The Long Dark, and there's now another one about Wendigos, where it's like a game set in like cold, dark Canada, and it's like, oh, Canada's so cold and dark and spooky. Oh, it's like,
Will Andrew
not
be
the part I'm
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The part I'm in is lots of yoga studios or whatever.
I mean, you often complain that it
That's
is
pretty
cold.
spooky.
I mean,
but it's not
yeah,
like 50 below cold.
That's
like,
true.
I am able
That's
to
true.
complain because I haven't died of the cold.
that's
Also,
true.
yes, thank you, Sean, in chat. A forest is just like a plant ocean.
Oh my god.
I love that post about what if forests were like the ocean, and the deeper in you get, like the ground dips down and the trees all get bigger, and there's like fucking Mononoke-sized animals.
That's
It's dope as fuck. I'll find it on
cool.
Tumblr and link it for you, Ash. It's quality content.
On the topic of forests, last time
Love forests.
in Toward Heaven, you came back from a forest,
We did.
and Cert, Emily's dear Cert, got taken away to explain themselves.
Yeah.
Does anyone
Yeah.
want to like go over what happened last time so that Emily can have a vague idea?
That'd be great.
I think Luke does.
Yeah. So, there's not going to be necessarily a lot of specific detail, because I don't remember that, but I can give you the cliff notes. We came back. We did some downtime stuff. None of it is memorable to me, but then it has been like fucking like 8 weeks or some shit.
been
I
a
don't
long
fucking
time.
remember. The point is, then some real weird stuff started happening, and all these like gross ossified bone tentacles started crawling up out of the gateway to heaven and like climbing over the city walls, and the city watch like was keeping them under control, and then Swift had a spoopy vision of them just like encasing the whole city and everything just being petrified in bone. So we went down and we fought the thing, and it was like a horrible corpse monster, and all of the tentacles were its teeth growing up out of its mouth, all weird like, and it tried to eat me, and there were lice in the coffin, and I went into Eclipse, and Andrew helped to save me sometimes, and Melody helped to save me sometimes, and we were real badass and we beat the bad thing, but I'm still in Eclipse. That's my memory of last session.
That's a pretty good summary. I'm pretty impressed with that one.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I left you all to do that alone.
Oh,
We got like brief glimpses of you like covered in
Helping.
bruises.
Oh, cool.
Oh, actually,
yeah, sweet.
actually, I'm gonna make it even better. Not only, I've just remembered, not only am I still in Eclipse, I have 5 stress, which means, as Andrew will tell you, it is possible that this obligation roll will just kill me.
Shit.
It is unlikely, but possible.
It's unlikely
Okay.
but possible. I will just exit the game
Yep.
and become like a dark champion or some shit like that.
Yep.
I am excited to find out.
Okay. Oh God. All right.
I mean, that would be Swift just like finally caving to the institutional pressure, right? And
Yeah.
you get
like,
flipped by them.
Or just like rejecting it and being like, actually, no, fuck, like the gods were right, all of you are worthless, and like you do deserve to just be like to burn, and just like going into
like,
heaven to
sucks.
be going into heaven to be the high priest again, and just being like, no, I am the god side is the correct side to be on.
Yeah, or that,
yeah.
I guess. If you,
It could look like so many different things. I'm looking forward to it. If it happens.
Then I think you should. I think you should be the person to start with your stuff. But first, do we have to do? Did we do the end of mission procedure? Last
I believe
time?
we XP. I believe we did.
Yeah.
And
I have
did
crew
we do?
advance written on my sheet in my notes section, so I think we have a crew advance.
Oh, we have a crew advance.
Did we
yes,
do-
we do.
Did we do Fallout? My
was
memory
the
is that
question I wanted.
we did XP, and I think that's where we stopped.
I don't think we did Fallout, which is great because there's a table for Fallout now that
There's a
actually
new
moves.
there's an exciting new table.
Yeah. Let me find
Ooh.
it.
I built you a table.
Here, I got. Here's one I prepared earlier. I made you this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there's a move in the game called "Here's One I Prepared Earlier." Now.
Also, Andrew, we probably should go over the changes to links because that is quite different.
Yeah. Do you want to go over that for us? Just so
Yeah.
we-
Thanks for the reminder that exists, Luke, because I forgot that I had done it. It's
No
like written
worries.
down, but I didn't remember doing it. And reading over it, I just like kind of glanced
Wow,
over it and didn't
I like the
notice
idea that you're
the
reading
change.
and being like, "Wow, this is really good game design. Whoever came up with this was like obviously a really
Oh,
good
yeah.
person."
I was brilliant in the past with Luke's help.
Yeah, this is why it helps to have collaborators because they remember things.
I mean,
So-
literally,
so
I was
now-
I was messaging Luke at like midnight last night, being like, "Luke, workshop this move with me."
And I was like, I have to sleep. I have a thing in the morning.
Yeah. Links. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
You know, no, I'm going home. Okay, I'm home.
All right, fuck you
So
then.
now, players spend a link with a specific PC and roll dice equal to the remaining links with that PC, so that part still remains true. Anytime a link is spent, describe how your relationship with that character is, giving them strength in the moment. So you can spend them to recover stress for the other person, help the other person shrug off harm, give the other person a helping die without needing to be there or spend stress, or for when they roll a 4 or 5 on Eclipse. So now rather than like I spend links on my sheet and they do stuff for me, it's I spend links that you gave me back at you.
Okay.
Right.
So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
that is how those work now.
Cool.
Okay. I might
And
need to be reminded.
just as a reminder, because we mentioned it in the pre-show, you can take an action to get links with your engine.
Yes, that is another
Because
neat
that is a
thing.
relationship you have.
So now pilots can bond with an engine as a downtime action, and when you bond with an engine, roll as normal for social link, assigning all links on your sheet attached to the engine, and then while piloting that engine during a mission, you can spend the links with it on yourself.
Is there a
So
limit to
we-
which engines you can get links with? That was a thing that was being floated. You couldn't do something with the engine you created, or
There was this whole idea of, actually, no, it's true. It's also true now. So here's another rule that got added, which is going to mess with us a little bit.
I'm
Which
keen
is
for it,
your
but
character
I'm-
is incompatible with the engine that you, the player, have made and cannot pilot it. So now, in hindsight, it's like I can't pilot the
The weird boots.
coffin.
Oh no, yours
thing.
was the coffin, wasn't it? The boots were Ash. I forgot.
Ash made the boots, so any of us can pilot the boots. But then, yeah, like Luke, you can't pilot the
I
engine.
can't have
that-
my cool bow anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. My character's about to die. I mean, like,
I'd like to explore that in our downtime, in our like obligation and stuff, and like see if people and like when we're doing our social links and things, like what that looks like.
Yeah,
I
it's a
have a
little
question.
rude for this to come up midway through, which is the
Yeah.
one problem. But
I have a question also.
I'm
I'm assuming that the specifics of my playbook mean that I can't do social links with engines either, or is it only other PCs that I can't do social link actions with?
Good question.
you can bond with an engine still.
Cool.
yeah, that is. It's an
That's
interesting
really
statement.
interesting.
That is
That is
Yeah.
really interesting.
You are more akin
I like
to giant alien mechs than you are to other human beings.
Sweet. I'm about it. It's good.
Cool. All right.
So is that the thing with we can't we're incompatible with the one-way design? Is that coming into effect? Like in terms of the story, is that are we saying that that's always been the case,
What I
or
would
is that
like is I'm not
suddenly
going
a
to
thing?
require it, but I would like you to steer your stories in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
show us why. Show us why not. Why that is now
Yeah,
not
you
a
don't
thing.
Yeah.
have to do it. This
It wasn't
session,
true,
but,
now
like,
it is.
Move towards
Mhm.
that is basically a future vision that we see, and we are moving towards that
Yeah.
reality.
Okay,
Um,
cool. Sounds good.
Like this is the advanced role playing shit, right? Like whereas like actually no, we know where we want to end up, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah, and
that's
like,
why we have
you-
roles.
Yeah, y'all are skilled enough to be able to manage that, I think. Cool. Well, let's evaluate the Darkness That Hunts track. Because
Yeah,
it's currently at 9.
I think we did do that step.
We did that
Yeah,
step?
we have gained our heat.
Okay, right,
Because-
cool. Yep.
That seems good. I think we just didn't roll Fallout specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
okay,
think we
so
held off because it would be a good way to open a new episode, specifically.
Reset the
Yeah,
Transcendence
and
tracks.
we-
Investigation
and
track
we-
drops down to half its current value running up, so I think we did that, did we? The investigation? Readiness? I don't think we've reset readiness.
I don't think we
I
have.
don't think readiness has degraded yet.
Everyone erase stress from your sheet and unspent links and reset your Transcendence
Except
track.
me,
Except
because
for Luke.
I am in darkest night.
Because you have become the Edgelord.
Edgelord.
So before we lose our investigation process, we do roll Fallout. So we're gonna roll.
Oh, we did that before we...
Yeah, so we're gonna roll as if we had 6 readiness.
Can
Okay,
I
it tells
roll
us-
it
okay,
and
but
make a
it
bad thing happen?
So Andrew, just so you're aware though, it does tell us to like set the investigation track down first.
Oh, it does say to do it first? Okay, then we do it first. Yeah, so we roll it 0 dice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
that's good.
Can I do it?
Yeah,
Sure.
100%.
Yay! What's this? Fallout. Submit. Position. Who cares? Effect. Who cares? Number of dice. 0. Let's fucking do it.
Great. Excellent. Great. Darkness tier... We're Darkness tier 2, aren't we? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so perfect. That, like, considering the thing that we were talking about in the in the thing. Great. Cool.
Yep.
Excellent. So yeah, I think like we get a shot of, and this is like after Emily's obligation roll, but I think we get a shot of like Cert, sitting in a chair. I don't think Cert's tied or bound, but like is just sitting and taking it, I think. And we see someone in like the like general's uniform, and like he's standing over Cert and like ready to like deliver another blow, and you can see like his knuckles are like bloodied with Cert's blood, and he's like being like, we'll get some sense into you yet. We're not going to have this happen again, are we? And then like a door opens and an officer with like a beret and like some kind of like she carries like a weapon at all times because she's a standing officer. Like opens the door and is like, "Sir, there's something you need to hear. You need to see." And like he's like, "Okay." And like puts his white gloves back on over the and like some of the red like from the blood like comes through the white gloves, and like he like exits the room, and like we just follow them for a minute as she's like those bodies we've been finding, well, you should come and see what the doctors are saying. And like they go into like, and we cut to like a morgue sort of room. And there's an old man with like just a massive moustache and like grey and like a grey mandarin collared coat that goes like down to the floor, standing over like a bunch of these bodies that have just got all of these like scars and like not scars even, they're like wounds, but they're like scarification, they're cut into them. And like he looks up and he's like, "Sir, I've looked at these. They're self-inflicted." And then I think we cut away.
Yeah, that's the cold open for the episode, and then we get the opening credits, and then we get the like 3 days early.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's great. I like it. What does it mean? That sounds horrible.
It means that strife is breaking out in the Bastion, Emily. Weren't you listening?
It does. Yeah, no. I mean, yes, that's fair.
Yep.
I like this gray man. I feel like he is a priest. He is like a death mortuary undertaker.
He's a something.
priest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the high priest of Surgat, right? Like
something like that. Yeah. Yeah. He's got like I just like his mustache because it's like a mustache that goes past his chin. Like
yeah.
yeah, and like big and bushy.
The enormous like handlebar.
I feel like
Well, no,
every
'cause I think it
time we
covers his
describe
mouth,
him,
right?
we
Like,
need to do
it's-
this to make sure we know who we're talking
Oh,
about.
it's this.
Yeah, it's that. It goes over his mouth. It's
Oh
just
my god.
yeah.
He's Lord Yupa from Nausicaa.
So you just like
Yes,
can't even see his
100%.
mouth.
Yeah, you can't see his
Right.
mouth when
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart does the voice acting, because he's definitely played by Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Excellent. Does he stroke
no,
it
no, he's played by
like-
John. Like he's voiced by John Hurt.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better.
So next, now that we've gone through our cold open and our title sequence, we should do the downtime.
Obligation.
Pardon.
The obligation.
Obligation. I will translate from.
Thank you.
I had to
Upstairs.
wake up at fucking 6:30. Okay.
And you had
They
me
had to wake up
pestering you
6:30
late at
and
night for
MC.
game design. So.
Hmm?
All right.
What?
Well, I think. Do we want to start with Cert or do we want to start with Swift?
I feel like it is more dramatic if we wait to find out if my character dies or not until the end of
Well,
obligation.
but the point is that if your character dies, then we can like some of the obligation stuff can be associated with that. I think we should
Like
go
we're
Cert.
stepping
And
into
then,
it.
That's a better point.
Yeah.
That's a better point.
I think I
Yep.
want to see Cert and then Swift.
That sounds good.
Okay. Yep.
So at the start of every downtime,
Yeah.
each character must roll obligation. So what's your? Let's have a look at.
What's my obligation? It's getting beat up. It's like
Obligation, vacation.
It's
It's
that-
called
it's-
discipline.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
discipline is what they do. Is
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yep.
Because yeah,
Yep.
they're like it's that thing of like, obviously you need to know who's in control here. And like there's this whole thing that this general is like talking about when he's like you know applying the discipline, which is like he keeps talking about like you'll understand that like this is that like we are right and our way is right because otherwise you wouldn't be getting beaten up.
Yeah, because we're hitting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's this like weirdly circular
It's
Because force.
logic. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the like not mandate of heaven.
Like this wouldn't be happening unless we were correct.
Exactly. It's not
Yeah.
mandate of
Wow.
heaven. It's
That's so messed up.
what's the word for not mandate of heaven. It's divine something. Obligation.
I don't know.
Divine retribution.
No, the thing that people use to say that it's okay, that white people use to say that it's okay that they colonize other people's.
Oh, fucking.
Manifest destiny.
Manifest
Thank you.
destiny. It's
Yes.
manifest destiny. That's why you're getting
Right.
hit. Is manifest
Yeah.
destiny, right?
Yeah, if we weren't stronger than you and the gods hadn't made us that way, you wouldn't be getting hit right now.
Exactly.
And so, therefore, the fact that you are getting hit is correct.
Yeah.
That's
Well, that's
so
awful.
gross.
Yeah.
Wow.
But like it's
Yeah,
100%
this-
the Bastion, right? Like the Bastion would.
Yeah. Oh, it is. No,
The
that's
Bastion is a colonial metaphor.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, that's perfect. Whew. Yeah. So I think as far as like the general themes of that, I think like yeah, Cirque is very uh,
like
like seems to be sort of intentionally neutral and just like takes all the stuff and says yes and yeah, just kind of waits.
And like anytime that you show any sign of resistance, they're like, look, resistance, it means you're wrong. And anytime you don't, they're like, look, not resisting, it means that we're right.
Yep, exactly. Yep,
yeah.
that's it. Yep.
What?
Do they make? I'm about to make it awful.
Oh, right, because it was
Is-
really nice before.
Because this is like a mechanically it's not, but like fictionally this is like not only like obligation, but it's also like the entire last mission's time worth of obligation and also action.
Yeah.
Like, this is a
Yeah.
long stretch of time of awfulness.
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah, I have
also like make Sort get on the Manifest Destiny bandwagon and like
I mean, that's what they're trying to do.
be the general in a scenario where where Sort is being played by the fact that their names both start with S is so confusing to me.
Yeah.
And
In
they're
a
thinking,
scenario where Sort is played by one of his people.
there aren't any of his people left.
What do you mean?
Like Sword's
What happened to the
people-
refugee camp?
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I
Wasn't there a
don't
whole
know.
thing of like him making speeches to those of his people who were
he's not
like
talking- he's not
in the
making-
Bastion?
No, he's not making speeches to his people. He's making speeches to the Bastion's people to show, like,
Okay.
show
Yeah.
the Bastion. Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't
exactly,
know of other than like maybe Ock, but Ock was never really either side.
Yeah, Ock was there, and there was at one point we saw on the screen like a kid who might have been like mixed race or something, but it was very much like they weren't known.
Okay, sorry,
people,
It's been 2 months. I have forgotten.
Yeah, no,
did,
that's
did Ock get arrested or otherwise disappeared? or
Ock has
something?
disappeared.
That was the fallout.
Yeah.
Last time
Okay.
was
Yeah.
Ock.
Right.
Ock got black bagged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Ock?
Oh, God.
It totally is.
You have to manifest destiny
You have to
Ock
manifest
to
destiny
show
on
your
Ock.
loyalty.
Fuck, that's so gross.
That's
That's so gross. Okay.
Welcome to Girl by
Like, as in,
Moonlight,
like-
a fun game where everyone's like happiest friend, Andrew Gillis.
It's about
So is it-
friendship.
Is it like, are we talking like, now you have been discipline, like your,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
You're inferior.
Show that you've learned a lesson,
Yeah. That you accept their...
Do you want to roll?
You're a better class of like indigenous oppressed person because at least you're a pilot and have been made like part of the Bastion. And so now you need to continue the Manifest Destiny chain of bad yucky stuff.
Bad and that's so good because it's so awful. Fuck, I legitimately don't know what I would do in that scenario.
I'm
should
sorry,
roll and
Emily.
find
Okay.
Okay.
So, sorry. It's also been several months and I don't remember what I'm doing here. I need to roll.
So
some
the
daring.
rest of us would roll our worst resistance, but because you are the stranger, you always roll Kuderi.
Okay, great.
Because you are so cool.
I'm so cool. Alright. And the position and stuff don't matter. Oh my god.
So you started with 3 stress.
I'm so great at it.
I
I
look,
mean,
that's not.
fair.
That could have been a lot
narratively
worse.
That's narratively really good. So.
Yeah.
Okay, I start with 3. Now, here's the question. As of last time, I'm assuming that nothing has been recovered. I haven't recovered anything.
You should have wiped your stress because you weren't.
Yeah, all your stress
Stress
goes
and
away,
transcendent?
and then
Okay.
Get
Alright.
reset.
And so, sorry, and I'm starting with how much?
3.
With
3 stress.
Alright, I also had some harm. Does that stay? I assume it
Yes,
does.
the harm stays.
that sticks around.
Beaten up since I got back, so like it doesn't make sense that I would have recovered.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Shit, but like what happens?
We can cut away from that and not answer that question.
I'm really like interested to like know, but I really don't know.
I mean, we could,
Yeah.
could we like
Wait and
flashback
find
to it
out,
later,
like-
or
Yeah, I think that's good. Let's say like I like the idea, and this is, I imagine what you're like picturing of like it's been however long of this kind of like discipline and like all of this shit about manifest destiny being kind of drilled into him, and then it sort of seems like that has maybe finished up, and they like lead him out of the room like into to another door, and like open the door, and like there's Och is like there all in a chair tied up or whatever, and then we just don't see what happens. Yeah, that's gross.
Swift,
Cool.
do you wanna
Give me just a moment.
give me just a moment? There's an alarm going off. I need to read
I'm
that.
no, I'm just like
fix
explaining
it.
to chat
I can do
a
it.
thing.
Oh, you're explaining in chat. Yeah, I see. Hi Claire. Cool. So yeah, we get to see that lovely little scene.
Yes, okay, I'm good.
Yep.
I'm done.
Cool.
Some people have not seen episodes yet, and so
Yeah,
they're just trying
that's
to
fine. Like we want people to jump in and
Yep,
just
cool. All right. So, my life is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
On the plus, oh no, oh, this is sad. See, so here's the thing, right? So at the end of the last mission, I took an advancee, and I updated, I added a .express, I think.
Let me have a look at your sheet.
I think so.
Swift.
Just trying to remember if did I tick down my action ratings? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we start with 3. Andrew, have we
Yeah,
been
you start
playing
with- you
long
start with
enough? I
3
could
dots.
have. Have we been playing long enough? I could have gotten that many. I think we have.
I have 5.
Yeah. Okay. I think this is accurate. Yeah. So the moral of the story is, Tsundere is no longer my weak resist. I have been inured to violence and fear. My weak resist is now Moe. I am weak against despair and heartbreak.
Oh no.
Which, considering that I am like currently in
In Eclipse.
Eclipse, is not good. And so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, and like I don't know if this is explicitly linked in with the Fallout thing. Like I don't know if it's if the reason that they're interrogating Swift for knowledge of the past this week is like about the big mystery
It's
of
not.
like a spooky music magic thing.
don't think
Yeah,
it
so
is.
it's a different thing, right? Like it's they want a weapon. They want a big. I think like the whole thing with Tsukiyomi has driven home to them how vulnerable the Bastion like still kind of basically is, and they're like, yeah, like according to our fucked up, twisted remembering of what your culture that is our root culture was like, y'all had like fucking crazy super weapons. We want give us the super weapons, Swift. Where are the super weapons? And Swift is like, I'm not particularly inclined to like cooperate with you just in general ever, and also like specifically not this thing because like it's not real. And she says, like, she tells them that, and they don't believe her, and their attempt to try and like break her down such that she tells them is that Alastor and a small squad of soldiers like take her out, not like a huge way, but like take her out of the city to like one of the ruined like settlements of her people, and show her what the inevitable march of time has done to her culture. And like I think because Alastor is a piece of shit, he's like, it's not just like any settlement that just like a thing happened. He's like, hey, this is the one where like, remember how like in the personal history of you in the past that I'm aware of because you're like a historical figure, like remember that really important thing that you were like dealing with when you vanished? This is the thing you abandoned.
Yeah.
This settlement doesn't exist anymore because you came to the future to fix things. And she's already feeling like super inadequate and like fixing things just doesn't work, and like what the fuck was she thinking trying to change time? And now she is confronted with like a thing that she could have changed if she hadn't like so arrogantly like thought that she could fight against the time stream. And so yeah, she's very upset.
How upset?
That is my summary of events.
Yeah.
And now I am going to roll resist. And we'll see what happens. Boo.
Nice. Well done.
Holy shit. I'm so good at this.
Good job. You're not so upset that you die.
That's right. That's right. Guess I'll die. So Andrew, just because like we haven't, I don't think we've done this bit with or not often with an Eclipse character. I take the amount of stress I would have gained and I tick it down. Yeah.
Yeah, you tick down, right? Every time you mark stress while in Eclipse, you're ticking down to 0, and then when you hit
It's
0,
the countdown.
it's
All right, cool. So I am at stress 4.
Okay.
I am 4 stress away from exiting the game.
It's okay, we got you.
I'm sure.
Power of Friendship coming up.
Because we have updated
I
to
don't got
version
you. I
5,
suck at friendship.
should we all update
everyone-
our Eclipse prompts because some of them have been changed?
Oh yes.
Double check your
yes.
Eclipse prompt, double check your gather info questions.
Yep, because
Some of those might
I
have
remember
changed.
specifically that my Eclipse prompt
Yeah,
What's
the
your
time
Your
quite
travelers
Eclipse
did.
got quite radically rewritten.
What is it now?
Let me read it out to you, friends. Let me read you the sad thing. Are you ready?
Yes.
You've known all along that changing fate was impossible, but here you are. All this wasted effort, wasted time. If this fate is inevitable, why not embrace it? You set aside caution for instinct and pursue a simple and direct course of action heedless of consequence. You can only escape Eclipse when your fated person defies your predictions and shows you that they can alter the course of fate.
And then when you come out
And
of
your
it,
fated person
things
is
change.
Tristan Rama?
Yep. And then when
It's
you come
us.
out of it, I choose either my fated or my dark fate or both entirely. I can just be like, actually, there's a different bad prophecy now that I also have to stop, and it's also bad.
Nice.
Yep.
Mel and Andrew, who wants to go next for downtime? Oh, sorry, for obligation.
I can go next.
Mhm.
And so our whole thing is being the like mascots of the authority. And so gosh, what would that mean today? I think that means victory parades.
Yeah, victory parades, and also like, well, what was the thematics and like heart stuff for Circuit's Call to Death? I'm trying to remember, like, what was their feeling? It was
The emotional.
yeah, emotionally, because their thing was like,
It was like despair and like
yeah, just come to death
like
because
loneliness
it,
and missing like the withering of Surrogate, wasn't it?
yeah, and it was like come to death because it's inevitable and you'll eventually feel that anyway. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, in response then, the victory parade is really colorful and really like gaudy, and very very like very because it's the Bastion, it's very like nationalist, and it talks a lot about how like it's trying to reinforce this thing of we can almost that they can like that even death can't take them because we're united, and there's this strong
Only
thread
victory
of, like,
is inevitable.
yeah, it's like, but there's the two threads are like it's saying like, it's trying to reinforce this thing of like outsiders can get fucked because like we like anyone who doesn't like want to like be the Bastion is going to die. But it's colorful.
Yay!
Yeah. It's
Oh, so we have to
nationalist
like
as
play
fuck.
out like historical like duels and stuff that we're reenacting on this parade float as it like goes around town.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think what makes this so hard for Kristen Romer is that they know that their friend Swift is like in crisis, and that they want to help her and can't. And they're stuck doing this nonsense.
And I think there's this thing of like you're required to like hold like I think lock like hold hands and like lock arms, like so that you're basically like shoulder to shoulder and not, and like you're fighting off all of these like, I think probably puppet people, because
Yes.
obviously we wouldn't have real people playing our enemies.
But they're not Muppets, Emily. Don't worry.
No, I think they're paper mache.
Yeah, they're like.
Oh, I'm into that.
That
they're
was
on
Oh shit!
sticks and
Oh
being
shit!
held
Are they
above
like?
people.
Are they bunraku puppets made out of paper mache? So
is
they're
a
like
bunraku
10
puppet?
foot the big Japanese like 10-foot tall ones that take like 3 people to operate.
Yeah, that's
See, I was
spooky.
thinking that they were smaller and had like bobbly heads and were like really gollywog and awful. And
I'm also
and,
down
like,
for that. I have no strong
Yeah.
puppet.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
perfect.
rest
I
of
like
them are
I like
having
the
to,
idea of them being the type where you manipulate them with sticks. Like there's like
Yeah.
one person under it with like some sticks for the arm, and it's like its
Yep.
torso starts at their shoulders, and it's
Yep.
like a
And
Yeah.
two of them, and I think we see this moment where you're having to like, and because they're made of paper mache, they're basically, do you know what they are? Their heads are filled with candy.
yes, they're all like kind of pinata-y,
They're
and every time
pinata-
you
they're
like
pinata
score a
puppets.
victory for the Bastion,
And
candy
so
comes
we
out.
see this shot of
And
you, like,
children like flock to it.
yeah, and so like Hrist and Rama are like knocking these things open, and I think we cut to one where like Hrist is just like just destroying one that looks very similar to Swift, and Rama is like destroying one that looks very like Cert.
Yeah, and they're just real tore up about it,
Yeah.
and have these like have to do the like big fake smiles with like very open faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. So I guess I'll be running Moe here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this obligation has been actually really nice because it's the first time that Tristan and Rama have used the word friend to describe Swift. So from my perspective, this was a very sweet scene.
Great. Well, I take 5 stress,
From having to
which
beat
is the most
crap,
I possibly can.
you beat the crap out of these puppet representations of your friends.
You feel
Yeah,
bad?
and then there's like a scene of the two of them in like, like backstage or whatever this thing, just like each separately like clutching their knees and crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then needing to like put their face back on and go back out and do it again.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
my heart.
God, I need to figure out why Swift only took like 1 point of stress. I'm gonna get back to you all on that because like
Yeah, that is narratively.
that was like
this-
really rough what happened to her. And like I'll get back.
Is
to
it
you.
because she's like pushed over from despair into just anger and like bitterness, and it's not getting through to her?
I kind of think Swift was always at that point, Mel.
Yeah,
TBH.
yeah.
I think actually what it is that like
That's my secret. Cat.
she's so deep in darker in her eclipse that it's like everything was inevitable, right? Like it's you can't fucking fight fate, and so like even if she had been back there, this was still fated to happen to the settlement, and so it wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah,
Like, she's
Kelsey thought that she
nihilistically-
already knew that it was gonna
Nihilistically
happen.
convinced of the futility of any of like
All
any
that.
kind of like plan or like long-term strategy, because it just like fate just like fucks all that. All you can do is just like do the simple thing that occurs to you in the moment and just do that thing and then wait and see what the next thing is. That's the only way to live, because everything else, fate just fucks you.
Yep. Neat.
And that's her coping mechanism.
So, Adna.
I mean, I have ideas.
Yeah. What's your lowest stat? What's your lowest save?
So it's Kudere.
Social
Which-
pressure.
Yeah, I mean, like I think like it's my initial thought is that Adna is like viewed by the Bastion as like the weak point in this like kind of clique of like heroes, like she is the one that is newest to it and is most on the outside and can give them most information about what actually went down on the mission. And so I think it's like a debriefing, like what happened, who like, and they're trying to get dirt on people that they can then use as leverage.
Yeah, 100%.
Like what who was compromised, who was saying
Was
you should
Swift
do this.
involved?
that kind
Yeah,
of-
was Swift
Exactly,
engulfed in
yeah.
a giant halo of like dark fire? Was that a thing
Well,
that happened? Maybe.
And like if I like roll badly, then it's like it
Then
would
they know
be
that.
spilling all the beans about Swift wanted us to go do this thing that we weren't meant to be doing, and like etc.
Yeah.
So I'll roll and find out.
Let's find out.
Hey, it's Ruvad.
Yeah.
Oh.
You just dish out on everyone.
Welcome
Yeah,
to-
yeah. She just like breaks, and she's like, we were like on our way to because we weren't even meant to be really going out there, were we?
On
Like-
that one before last time, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and
most
so it
recent
was-
one we got. The authorities were like, "Cool, you're back. All right, we got to send you in. This is like you're late.
Yes.
What are you doing?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally. Sorry, I'm thinking about the one before.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
Which is all kind of like led up to and fed into this one. And so it's like like we were like, what it meant to be out there, and Swift was saying we should go talk to this like horrible monster in the wilderness. And
Did you dob in Sort and admit that Sort was the one who was like, we should go into the woods on my like totally not ulterior motives mission and like
Yep.
go and visit the graves of my people.
100%.
And
Mhm.
also Sort yelled at me a bunch about how the Bastion is really terrible. Like
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That
Except like that stuff definitely like comes out, but like Adna is not saying it in like a negative way, like trying to dob in Sword, but still is.
yeah, no,
in fact,
totally.
doing
But
that.
like they totally
It is-
take it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that was a collaborative effort, but it was still a collaborative effort by us against the Bastion. So maybe like
Yeah.
that's the part that sort of comes out. It's like
Totally.
the fact
And also like it involves Sort like having feelings about his culture of birth and yelling at an inhabitant of the Bastion.
Yeah.
Which like
totally.
that's not on.
And Adna's like saying, we had to do it. It just was like we had to do it to stop things from getting worse. So it was doing the right thing, but they're still like taking notes, in
Yeah, exactly.
When
little books
I
and-
feel like when they found out that bit, that was probably the thing that triggered them to be like, and now, Sort, you need to demonstrate what you have learned about Manifest Destiny on the lost of your people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, show us where your loyalties truly lie.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
like just fictionally, I think that Ock and Surt, there are probably like people from Surt's culture. Like there are some left, but they're like so rare and disparate that they're like finding
And like largely forcibly
yeah, and like
assimilated.
stealth.
yeah, and stealth.
Yeah. Like if they're not assimilated, then they're hiding.
Yeah, exactly. They're either like passing or outright not visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, passing, pretending to actually assimilated, pretending to assimilate, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, good
That
job,
was
team.
fun.
Everything's awful.
Yep.
Very awful.
It just trying to explain all of this to Kira in chat has just driven home to me how fucking grim.
How
we made-
awful it is. We have made this
game.
very grim. But
And like
that's-
Andrew, I think this speaks to your decision not to call it like a magical girl hack of Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
Because like it's very much not what people think of when they think of magical girl fiction.
Yeah.
Well, I
The
feel,
word
I feel
tragic
like
is very important.
that
Yeah.
I feel like it's in that like opening passage that you had of like this is a game about magical girls, except it's not. It's actually a game about like queers and how the world sucks for them. And like I think that's it. I feel like the fact that all of us have very strong feelings about queerness, like we are really using this as like a cathartic kind of the world does
Yeah.
suck in these exact ways. Let's talk about how like sucky it is.
Yeah.
I
An
think
Queerness
opportunity to
intensifies.
in that direction. Yeah.
manifest all of your shit you've had to suffer under, and then punch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Being
In a lot of ways, this game
Yeah.
is quite like the
Yes.
Republic. Yeah, you get to be
Yeah.
like, hey, look, it's the patriarchy. Here's its face. Punch it in the fucking face
Yeah. Exactly. Cool.
till it bleeds.
Well, let's take a break, and then we can do our downtime.
Alrighty.
Sounds like a good plan to me. All right, we'll be back in a minute, chat. Peace.